Alright, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well today. So Subriel Matias is now going to fight Sergey Lipinets. Now I just made a video about Matias supposedly fighting Ergashev, Shojahan Ergashev. That fight was ordered by the IBF. It's a mystery to me to know why suddenly Lipinets has come up. I know he was spoken about before Ergashev. I don't know why negotiations fell through. It's a bit disappointing, to be honest. I had a good response from that video. Shout out to anybody that watched that and commented. You know, we were all very excited about that, and just the prospect of that fight happening was amazing. That being said, Lipinets is a damn good fighter, and he's only lost twice. Once to Mikey Garcia, when Mikey Garcia was still just about Mikey Garcia, 2018 I think. And then Boots Ennis, that was up at welterweight when he lost to Boots Ennis. And he probably, you could argue, he probably gave Boots Ennis his tougher fight, even though it was very one-sided and Boots Ennis ended up, you know, really just overpowering him, over-skilling him, and just was just a far better fighter. But, you know, Lipinets had his moments, but he's here now, and his only other blemish on his record was a draw against Castillo Clayton, who obviously lost to Boots Ennis in one round. So this fight is still a good fight. Subriel Matias, obviously, Puerto Rican destroyer. And I mentioned this in that video I did with the Ergashev. Matias comes forward, throws, apparently, I think it's something like 107 punches a round, one of the comments left. I don't know if it's exactly that. It's very close to it if it's not that. Comes forward, it puts it on you, throws hard arm punches. That's the thing with Matias as well. Once you're in his range, he doesn't appear to need to get that much leverage. He's a little upright, and his footwork and his balance is probably something he could work on, but he finds his way to you. He reminds me a little bit, not necessarily stylistically, but Antonio Margarito, like, would find his way to his opponent, okay, by just walking them down a little cumbersomely, but he would get his arm shots off, and he would, you know, he would back you up, and he would get to work. And it does that intensity and tenacity reminds me of Margarito. Like I said, a Matias just comes forward, a little rudimentary at times, but my gosh, he is a hard night's work for anybody. You have to basically have a good chin, a good heart, maybe a step back game, a good jab, you know, to be able to weather the storm. And as I mentioned in that video as well, Petros Ananyan beat him in the first fight. He went through a tough first half of that fight. I mean, he was fighting Matias. When I first wanted to look up this fight, because I didn't see that fight live, I was like, let me see how somebody beat Matias. Thinking that, you know, Ananyan would have maybe boxed him, but no, he fought him. And my gosh, he took some punishment. But, you know, he hung in there. He had a good chin. And that's what you have to have, probably a good chin or a good heart, or maybe probably both, but, you know, one of the two for sure. But Ananyan was, you know, he hurt Matias badly in, I think it was the 6th or 7th round. And I said, 4 overhand rights in a row. I'll show you the video. And then he hit with a left hook. But at the end of the day, this fight with Lipinets, it's going to be a war. And when you're fighting Subriel Matias, you have to prepare for an absolute war. Unless you are maybe a supreme boxer and you can get on the back foot, use your jab, maybe some feints, some cleverness. That's probably one way to beat Matias. But you're going to have to go through some sort of adversity, I think. But Lipinets is 34 years old. You know, he's coming back down from, he just beat Omar Figueroa. That was a good win. I didn't see him stopping Figueroa, to be honest, when that fight was announced, but, you know, he did. And like I said, his only 2 blemishes are for Hall of Fame fighters, really. Let me take that back. Boots Ennis is probably touted and looked at as a future Hall of Famer in terms of his talent. He's got a lot to prove, obviously, but Mikey Garcia, definitely. So we'll see how Lipinets does. He's got a tremendous amount of courage in him. He's always wanting to win. You know, he was actually a kickboxer. He's from Kazakhstan. He kickboxed in his early career. Had a brief amateur career, something like 35, 40 fights. Turned pro boxer. Only had 17 fights. So, you know, he's still quite young in the game in terms of the amount of fights he's had. But it's still a good fight. I think the Ergashev one is better. Hopefully we get the Ergashev fight a little bit later on down the line. But that's it from now. We'll get an announcement of that. I think 26th of August is scheduled for. So let me know what you think in the comments about this fight. And let me know if you know anything about the negotiations and that fell through from the Ergashev fight. Because that was weird. We were kind of really looking forward to that. Well, I was. Perhaps down the line we'll get that fight. We can do another video and we'll talk about it more because it's very intriguing. But for now, Subriel Matias takes on Sergey Lipinets, August 26th. Still a very good fight. And, you know, 140 pound division is heating up still. There's a lot of amazing fights to be had in that division. It really is. We're going to see who the best is in that division pretty soon within the next year. There's some tremendous fights. So, and on this coming Wednesday, I've got another interview with Jihad Abdul Aziz, my friend and old trainer and mentor. I did a video the other day. It went really well, but you know, I wish I'd have just kind of fallen back a lot. I learned a lot in that interview, and I'm really looking forward to this one on Wednesday because we're going to get the best out of him and me. And the only reason you didn't get the best out of him was because of me. I kept, you know, interjecting. I was just a really excited boxing fan, but you know, I learned a lot, and I want to shout out to all the subscribers. Look forward to that video because I'm really looking forward to that on Wednesday. I'll put that out, and you know, if you do have any questions for him, let me know in the comment section. But that's it from me for now. Peace and love. Boxing on the edge. I'll see you soon.